Oh, good evening and welcome back to Sky Blue Fans TV. I'm Milesy. Don't forget, if you are watching the channel, you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Also, please like and subscribe on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and you can get to all our old content, match reviews, match previews, and even our live streaming from outside all the away grounds we've been to this season so far. So let's introduce our guests again. Mark, good evening, Mark. You all right, mate?
Yeah, very good. Enjoying the show.
Good. Russ, good evening.
Hi. Humka. Oh, yeah, guys, I did, yeah.
And we've also got Glenn, your son. All right, Glenn.
Yeah,
Don't give up your day job.
Stop.
I won't be
We're gonna
dressing
have
up
to
as
do
a
that
hacker
tomorrow.
person. Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that when we all go QPR away. We'll just all dress up as that bloke in fancy dress. That would just be hilarious.
Good
Yeah,
shout,
it'd be
Ben.
funny.
Yeah,
And then we got Michael Fetter. You all right, mate?
I'll do a different one.
yeah, I like that. That's good.
We'll have that. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our Blackpool fan on now. If any of you have got any questions, then please jump in and ask the questions. Good evening, John. How are you?
No one told me I had to do the hacker when I came on, so I'll just jump off now. I'm not prepared to do that, I'm afraid. I'm very good, thanks.
I don't know if you good. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the video?
Provide me a
the
bit of
QPR?
context to that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that was all about.
You're not seeing it? Oh yeah, I'll
No.
show you. Yeah, I'll show you. Do you want to have a look?
Oh, the Gareth
Yeah, I'll show
Ainsworth
you
thing.
And I just want to give you full attention. I won't buy it, or I won't buy it. There's no point being here and going, you missed a day of your life. There's something, a great experience of your life, alright, that I think is worthwhile, alright? So, there's a consultant to come and see you. Here's Josh.
Gaffer, you win.
Is that for real? Is that a white?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
day. That was the day they were travelling up to Blackpool, mate. That's why you won 6-1.
Although I'll have to buy that. I bet Maori Warrior a pint then. I think. Yeah, I've had the desired effect,
I
innit?
just said to the boys, I was expecting Anton Deck to jump out the curtains or something.
Was he on a wind up there, or is it an actual kind of David Brent style motivational tactic? Do you think it is?
That's
I think it's
motivational. I think.
I think it's
Jesus
motivation.
wept.
Yeah.
They should have stuck with Neil Critchley.
So, John, listen, what a fantastic result you had on Tuesday night. We were stood up in Wigan in the away end, and my mate behind me says,
Group
"Oh,
hug.
Blackpool are 4-0. Blackpool are 4-0 up. What's going on? How's that happened then the other night?"
We're all asking ourselves the same question, to be honest. It's kind of we've got that many injuries that Mick McCarthy's been. We've all been saying he's had a lucky dip bag with all the players' names in, and he's just like picking them out and throwing them against the wall, seeing if that sticks. And I think by hook or by crook, he's come up with this team, and it appears to have all the perfect balance of players. And we've only got one fit striker now, by the way. Gary Medine has done his ACL, so we've got Jerry Yates left, and that is it. One striker. And we've got this player called Morgan Rogers on loan from City, and he's a big lad. He's a bit of a unit, but he's a winger, really. So they stuck him up front, and he was brilliant up front. And it's just we've got this guy called Luis Fiorini back from Man City. Now he's a player who can pull strings in midfield. He's back in the fray now, and so it just Mick McCarthy must have tried about 3 or 4 different formations over the last 3 or 4 games, and this one seems to have clicked and come together. So I think we've scored 6 goals in our last 13, 14 games, and we've scored 6 in a single game. 3-0 up after a quarter of an hour. Couldn't believe it.
Did you like have a headache straight away or something? Because if that was us, I'd definitely have a headache straight away.
Well, we were all like pinching ourselves, saying, "Is this real? Is this actually happening?" You know, in a game. I think we've only scored not many goals in our last 6 games. I think 4 as well, something ridiculous like that. We've last 2 games we didn't even have a shot on target, and we've put in a performance like that yesterday. It wasn't just, you know, you do sometimes flat score lines flat you. We beat Birmingham 6-1 last season, and it wasn't a 6-1 game, but this was like a 10-0 game. We were that dominant. So
really?
it needed to come anyway, because we were all resigned to defeat and relegation after Bristol City. We lost 2-0 at Bristol City, and a more abject performance you will not see this season. It was absolutely abysmal, so bad. We didn't have a shot on target. They were just clueless, the players. Bristol City were just cutting us open at will. There was no pressing, and it's just so bizarre that we've put in 2 completely different, polar opposite a performance over 2 games. So, it's good that we've put that performance in. It's given us a little bit of hope, and it's a massive game for us this Saturday.
I mean, you started the season off quite well, and you came to us. You had a fantastic game against us, as you always do. I mean, how come you've ended up being in this bottom 3? Do you think? Where do you think it's all gone wrong for you this season?
Well, 10 red cards doesn't help. We've had, I don't know if you're aware of that, we're well ahead of the red card table. We've got an awful disciplinary record, but it's weird because we're not a dirty team. It's just referees just giving instant reds for, 50-50 red cards, making silly decisions. Like at Wigan, we were bossing the game. Marvin Ekpiteta, our centre half, got sent off. And that's probably the main reason that we're playing with 10 men for a lot of the games, and we've had an appalling injury record throughout the season. So many players out. The fans didn't need to take to Michael Appleton at all when he was appointed. He was not a popular appointment. So Neil Critchley leaving as well, as he did in the summer to put out cones for Steven Gerrard. It was a real shock in the summer, and Appleton had a really uphill journey to win the fans over. He's got Preston connections, which doesn't help. He was our manager in the past and just dumped us, so a lot of people remembered that. So those 3 things really: terrible injury record, terrible disciplinary record, and a manager that no one wants. But the Coventry game, like you've just mentioned, it was brilliant. We really put on a show that game. I'm sure you admit we probably deserved to win that game, and we'd beaten Preston 4-2 the week before. So we were on an absolute, we were on a crest of a wave, on a high. And then we just couldn't buy a win. We didn't win since we beat you in that game. We've only won 2 games, and one of those recent wins was like 3 games ago. So, it's been a weird season.
And what are the fans like now? I mean, we're bringing nearly 4,000 tomorrow. I think the pitches in it. I think that's the whole of that stand, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, what sort of reception are we expecting tomorrow? Because I mean, I've got a clip here of what we were like the last time we came, and we managed to sing this song, and another podcast pulled us up on it and said something at the end of the game. I mean,
Okay.
that was last season with about 2,000 of us. Now there's going to be nearly 4,000.
A lot of Blackpool fans talked about the Coventry support that game. I think we were quite highly regarded as one of the best away fans at Bloomfield Road last season. A lot of people, there's a bit of a debate in the Blackpool fan community about whether we should be giving the entire east side to away fans. Me personally, I like it. I think it adds to the occasion. It's always better because our main end is the north stand, former Cop, and you don't have away fans down that end unless you get some of the big clubs coming down. And for me, it adds to the occasion because you get a bit of needle, you get a bit of banter, coming back and forth between the north stand and the away fans. And I personally think it adds to the atmosphere. One of our players has said they don't like it when the whole of the east stand's full. They find it a bit intimidating. I thought it was a bit soft, me personally. I say bring it on, bring on the large following, fill the ground out, have a great atmosphere, and it'll just add to the occasion. I think I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, we give a massive allocation as well. When there's teams that come down, they want extra tickets. We'll give them up to 4,500 tickets if they want it. I mean, like you said, it's just going to create just a fantastic atmosphere for both sets of teams. How do you think the Blackpool fans are going to come out? They're going to come out in force now. You won in midweek 6-1.
I would imagine so. Yeah, like I say, after the Bristol City game, there was a massive downer amongst the fan base because we were all like, right, that's it, we're down now, we're done. And had we not beaten QPR the way we have, I think it'd have been quite not subdued, but it wouldn't have been as vociferous if it will be on Saturday. Everyone will be well up for it. I mean, our support has been great this season, considering everything that's been going on the pitch. So the North Stand will be up for it as they always are, and I think it'll be a great occasion. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to it.
And who have we got to look out for on the pitch? Who's because you say you got Madine's injured now, ACL. We've got a couple of those in our team, a couple of ACLs gone. Who have we really got to look out for? Who have we got to be scared of this weekend?
Joey Yates has scored his 10th goal of the season. He scored, did he get 2 against you? I think he did. He's our top scorer.
He did, actually.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The first goal he scored since scoring those 2 goals, by the way. So, and that was a pen last night. He missed an absolute sitter against Bristol City, but he's more than a goal scorer. He works his socks off. He's tireless. He's skillful. He's 2-footed. He's good in the air. I would say normally Josh Bowler, who we've got back on loan, but he's really not been the same player since he came back on loan. He'll probably be on the bench. He was superb for us last year, and I would have said him straight away. Morgan Rogers, the loanee from Man City, he's a tricky player. CJ Hamilton on the left. He's a bit of a one-trick pony, but the one trick he has is electric pace. Get in behind the fullback, and he'll cut balls in for fun. So he's also one to watch. And finally, Andy Lyons. We've got an Irish right back that we've signed from Shamrock Rovers. He unbelievably scores, I think, 9 goals from fullback in the previous season. He's brilliant. He's a great player going forward. So scored twice at the weekend from a right back. So that's not bad, is it?
No, not too bad at all. Not too shabby. And is there anyone in our team that you're a bit frightened of?
Well, the obvious answer is I can never pronounce his name. The Swedish striker Gyökeres. How do you pronounce his name?
Victor Gyökeres.
Gyökeres, yeah.
Yeah.
I think when we played you at your home game, you had that illness sweeping through the squad, and he was on the bench, wasn't he? I was quite pleased when he came on. Actually, we've got a bone to pick with Coventry. We all went down sick for about a couple of weeks after that. It really knocked us off our stride. So, in fact, let's rewind to the earliest question of why it's all gone off the rails, and it's your fault.
It's our fault. Sorry, didn't mean to.
Carry a load of bells next time. So, one of your players that impressed me was that little lad called, is it Jamie Allen? Jamie Allen?
Yeah, he's injured at the moment.
Oh, get in, is he?
Superb. Yeah, Jamie Allen. Yeah, we've got a couple of key players out. Jamie Allen, Casey Palmer's out.
Oh, Palmer's out as well, is he? All right, brilliant.
Yeah, Yeah, and as you know, Callum O'Hare's been out since Boxing Day. That's ACL. He's going to be out till September. So our midfield is quite weak at the moment. So it might be one in midfield on Saturday if he doesn't fill it out. So
Right,
it
right.
start Tuesday night. We sort of struggled because Wigan filled out the midfield, and then but second half, Ben Sheaf came on. He's just come back from injury, and you'd never know he'd been injured, to be honest. So I think Ben Sheaf's going to be key for us on Saturday. Lads, anyone got a question for John at all?
John, yeah, hi, it's Mark.
I'm up.
I mean, what sort of style of football does Mick McCarthy? Has he changed much since his appointment, or is it pretty much route one, or is he sort of manager likes to play on the floor from the games you see?
Right. So when he became manager, we signed a couple of absolute units at centre half. I think that kind of set the tone. Charlie Good got injured pretty much within the first game. So I wasn't kind of expecting him to play Mick McCarthy football, but he did. That's the way we played. It was kind of really aimless football at times. Just trying to hit diagonals, trying to hit the big men. Sometimes we didn't even play with Medine, who's the traditional target man. Didn't hit Medine. It was just going out wide, bypassing the midfield. We have got this player called Charlie Patino from Arsenal. He's a ball player who wants the ball at his feet, and he was just getting bypassed. The whole of the midfield was getting bypassed. But I think he's been forced to change his philosophy and the way he plays, given the fact we've had so many injuries. And we've been looking to play a bit more football, particularly in the last game. But we didn't against Bristol City. It's been a bit of a mess of formations and tactics, to be honest, under him. But I think he's now finally realised that we have got very good footballers in the team. And he's played literally in the last game quite a reasonable, expansive style, playing through the midfield, getting in the wingers and getting behind the strikers. So if we play like we did yesterday, I think it'll be a good game to watch, and it won't be route one at all. Fingers crossed.
Anyone else?
Do you think there's a possibility, whether you stay up or go down, McCarthy's going to go in the summer? Do you think there's a possibility Critchley comes back? Or is that totally like no chance in hell?
Well, you don't know in football, do you? The way he left a very bitter taste in pretty much every single Blackpool fan's mouth. He didn't say, like when managers go, they'll sometimes say goodbye to the fans, won't they? And thanks for the opportunity, that kind of thing. He just left and didn't say a word. So I think it was pretty unforgivable what he did. We could understand it if he'd have gone to be a manager at a bigger club, but to leave to become an assistant was just weird. And he was a good coach, but we kind of ran out of ideas towards the back end of last season, and we went on quite a bad run. But I don't think he'd be accepted if he was offered the job. And Mick McCarthy's just there to try and keep us up this season, so it'll be interesting to see what we get. But I don't think Critchley will be re-employed, given the less than welcoming arms Blackpool fans put around Appleton when he was given his second chance.
Anyone else? Yep. I was going to ask this lad that got he passed away the other week after the Burnley game, was it? Are you all doing a round of applause for him on Saturday? Are you doing anything for him?
That happened, yes. That happened on Tuesday night. There was 55 minutes. He was 55, Tony, when he passed away, and everyone set up what they called smoke bombs. They're not the actual flares, but the whole of the North Stand let off tangerine smoke canisters at the same time. There was like a round of applause, and everyone chanted his name. So it was a really emotional day, and for his family were all sat near us, and it looked great. The whole of the North Stand was lit up with smoke, and it was like a foggy day, tangerine foggy day, and we were all laughing. It'll just be typical that the game gets called off now. But what a game for Tony and his family, winning 6-1 in a game like that.
Yeah.
So I don't think there'll be anything else in the Cov game, but it was a terrible event. Really, puts things into perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely does. Definitely. Now, listen, what's the weather going to be like? That's the key thing, because a lot of us want to go here on Sunday. If it comes up, there we are. It
Pleasure.
opens
Are
this
you going to the
weekend.
pleasure?
The
Are you?
Pleasure Beach. So we all want to go there Sunday, and or some of our watchers want to see me on the Big Dipper. So I don't know how I'm going to stream that live, but I'll give it a go. But I mean, what's the weather going to be like? Are we going to be able to go on the big one?
If it's windy, no, they shut it if the winds hit certain speed. I believe Valhalla is reopening this weekend, which is a Nordic Viking ride, but you get really, really wet on that. So maybe save your poncho and take it to the match with you. It's probably going to be pissing it down. You're undercover anyway, at least. Don't know if you've been to Blackpool about 10 years ago. We didn't have, just for the Premier League, didn't have a stand, didn't have a roof on that stand. It was a temporary golf stand. Slightly better now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then where can fans expect to go? Because there's already fans up there. I've seen some videos today of them on the seafront. One fan, I don't know if everyone else seen it. I didn't upload it, but there was a guy dressed in a black dress skipping up the road with an umbrella in his hand. I don't know what that's all about in the middle of Blackpool. I don't know what we're expecting, but I mean, what can fans expect? Where, like, pub wise, where to go to eat, which is nice. Is there good Weatherspoons or
So
anything like that?
the advice I always give to away fans is go to the there's those spoons opposite the South Pier called the Velvet Coaster. It's a 3-level Weatherspoons, and it's got a sun terrace on the top. Probably the best Weatherspoons you'll ever go to. It's got a sea view overlooking the sea. It's open, like fires downstairs, decent prices. If you want to go near the ground, Bloomfield's a great ground for pubs. There's loads around the ground. I think the official away fans pubs are the Old Bridge and the Manchester Castles near a town as well.
Manchester.
Yeah, if you want to go to a decent old school pub, go to the Dog and Partridge. It's just a proper drinkers pub, cheap beer. It's good beer as well. The Bloomfield Club is where we normally go on match days. That's like an old working man's pub club type thing, cheap beer. You do see away fans in there, you just don't be dicks and you'll be fine. I'm sure, not that I'm saying you are, but just there's loads of options. So yeah, let's go to the Spoons. It'd be my number one recommendation. It's near the Pleasure Beach as well.
Oh, cool. Brilliant. So listen, right, we're going to get on with the scores then. Because so we're going to start with, let's start with Russ. Give us a score for Saturday. Russ, can you hear me?
He's
He's
muted.
gone all quiet. Yeah, he's got his
He's muted in his crypt. There you go.
Paracut. We'll go with Glenn. Glenn, go with you first, Glenn, then. Give us a score, mate, Saturday.
A really hard one to call. I think it could be a crazy 3-2 job either way. Hope Cov win 3-2 because if we don't win it, playoffs are gone. I think there'll definitely be. I'm going to be silly and say this. There'll definitely be goals. I cannot see it being a 0-0 game. Just with what both teams have to play for and the way they play. So there'll be goals. I think we might nick it 3-2.
Okay. Michael, give us a score, mate.
I'm going 2-2.
Oh, sitting on the fence.
Yep, 2-2.
Okay. Russ, are you back?
Yeah, I was just lingering in the background waiting to get my score in. I think we're going to do a reversal on Blackpool. It's going to be a 6-1, I think, on Saturday. Definitely. No, 2-1.
Oh, mate. 2-1. Okay, brilliant. Mark?
This might surprise some people, but I'm going to sit on the fence in this game and go 2-2 as well. I agree what Mr. Feta said. I think it's going to be a hard game. I think it'd be a good atmosphere though. Whatever happens, I think it'd be like a cup final type of game, won't it? Because both teams need the 3 points for different reasons. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I think we can win, but I think Blackpool will be buoyed by that fantastic win against QPR. So I think it's going to be a really tough game. A couple of weeks ago, I thought we should get 6 points for winning the Blackpool, but now I'm thinking not so sure. Now I think a point's not a good result, not a good result for either team in fairness. But I'm going to go for 2-2. I think for this one.
Okay. And John.
My head says 1-1, but my heart's saying 2-1 to Blackpool, so I'll go with 2-1 to. I've said that the other way around. I think my sensible head thinks it's going to be a 1-1 draw, given the fact you've drawn a lot of games and we have. But my heart's going for 2-1 because it's a game it's not a must win, but it's a game where we really have to win to close the gap. And we've had a good record against Coventry recently, in recent time. So I'll go for a 2-1 win to the Pool.
Okay. Well, this is, you know what? I'm that excited. I am that excited. I can't wait. It's going to be great. I'm going to go 3-0 Cov. I'm going 3-0 Cov. I think that we're due a win. We're definitely due a win. We drew last Saturday. We drew Tuesday night. I think we're due a win, and I think with the amount of fans that are coming up, I think there'll be a few sneaking into the home end as well. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go for a 3-0 win, I think, and I reckon Hamer and Vic will score 2. Hamer will get us one. There's something about it. I don't know.
I think I'll caveat mine. If Mick McCarthy tries to, what he's been doing in a lot of his games is play for a 1-0, like keep it tight, 0-0 for 75 minutes and then try and nick one. If he sets out like that, we'll lose the game. I'll probably say 2-0 to Cov. If we set out like we did on Tuesday night, I'll say we'll win 2-1. So it all depends on the team selection. He's been doing some stupid, crazy things, so it'll come clear on at 2:00 on Saturday, I guess.
Well, we've got some scores in here from Cov. Andy says 2-1 City. Obviously, these are all going to be Coventry City, I'm afraid, John. But and then we got Abigail. 3-2. Adabal, sorry. What did I say? Abigail. Oh, sorry, yeah. Adabal, sorry. I didn't mean to pronounce your name wrong. 3-2. So, yeah. I just think it's going to be exciting. Now, before you go, the pitch was awful Tuesday night for us. You played Tuesday night. What's your pitch like?
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever since Simon Sadler, our new owner, took charge, it was his priority to sort the pitch out. So it's like a carpet. I think they still play rugby league, don't they? At Wigan. So I was going to ask you actually, was their game plan still just to get wingers down and put crosses in? Is that all they did all game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Yeah.
So all
they got a lot of corners. Yeah. A lot of corners and tried to get the ball in, but I think they probably was looking at some of our previous games where we have struggled with crosses or long throw-ins, things like that. So I think they've been watching a couple of the games, especially probably they watched the Wrexham game over and over and over again because we were bloody awful at set pieces. So
is that where you're vulnerable then? Because we scored 2 goals from corners on Tuesday night.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier on. Yeah, we've seen that you scored two from corners earlier on.
We've not done that all season, by the way, so you might be all right. QPR were just so shit. They were appalling. They were so bad.
Yeah, I think if we turn up, I think we'll be all right. But we've got to turn up, and I think we will for the travelling support. To be honest with you, it's one of them, I reckon. So, thank you for coming on, John. Absolutely superb. Thank you very much. And if good luck for the rest of the season after Saturday.
Yeah. So, same to you.
And we hope you stay up because if we don't go up, we can come up again next season.
Well, it's always a good away day, innit? Blackpool away, first one on the calendar. So, hope you all have a good time anyway. Enjoy yourselves. Apart from the 90 minutes, obviously.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks, John.
You take
Cheers,
care.
guys. See ya.
Cheers, John.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely superb. So, that was a good little chat, weren't it? Absolutely fantastic. What did you take from that, Mark? Anything you took from that at all?
Oh, I just took the fact that I think it's going to be a hard game Saturday. I think they're going to be their confidence is going to be sky high after that win against QPR, and they have got some good players. I mean, look, they turned us over early in the season, so it's we don't want to be turned over again. It'll be interesting to see how how we sort of are set up tactically. I quite like the idea of playing, sort of 3-5-2 formation, or the one up front. I'm kind of happy with either way. I expect Blackpool to come at us quite hard. We'll try and attack at us first 15, 20 minutes, and if we could just try and hit them on the counter attack, I think that's where we can play our best. So that's the thing. So I think it'll be a tough game. I'm just a bit worried about the fact that they've got a really good wing, and I'm hopeful that we can put on a much better show than what QPR did.
Yeah. And Russ, what did you take from that?
They've had tough times as well as like us. In the past they've had some bad owners in the past, like we have, and I wish them every success. Blackpool's a club that's been renowned through football life, so not on Saturday though. I think the likelihood of them repeating that on Saturday is pretty low, I should imagine. Now, they ain't going to convert as many chances as they did the other night. Again, like Mark said, I think they'll come at us strong because they'll be buoyant from the other night. So we can defend reasonably well, can't we? We're usually pretty good. Now, counter-attacking is our forte. But again, in the second half at Wigan, we came out on fire, didn't we? And had a go once to say the change was made. So on our day, we say many times we can give anybody a game. I know we've had our ups and downs as per usual football, but I'm quite confident on Saturday. To be quite honest, I think now's the time to impose ourselves on Saturday again.
Yeah, I think if the pitch is all right, I think we'd be quite up for it. To be honest with you, I just think Tuesday night the pitch was really heavy, and I thought it really played a massive effect on our game itself. Glenn, did you take anything from that at all?
It's going to be a tough tie, which I think anyone who thought the Hull, Wigan, and Blackpool were going to be walking the parks was silly. Hull have been on a good run. Wigan have got good results against good teams. Blackpool, I think they're 7 unbeaten at home now, and they've took points off some good sides. I think the advantage we've got is I think you've got to take Tuesday out of the equation for them. That was a freak result. They scored 6 goals from 8 shots on target. And all the goals came from either corners, set pieces, basically, or a penalty. That's kind of freak. They didn't really carve QPR open in open play. They come and have a go at us, they're going to leave us space. The problem is we need the players to attack them. And I think he's right. We shut the midfield off. We control the game. And we then say to them, with 20 minutes to go, how bad do you want to win the game? Because if you want to have a go at us and throw bodies forward, play into our hands. We can stick Walker on. We can stick Esbrand on. We've got pace then to break on them. And we've got... But the problem is if we sit and let Patino and Florin, whoever they've got, we let them ping the ball around with space, they'll murder us. But if they let Hamer have time on the ball, they'll let Sheaf do, we can cause them problems. So it's a 50-50 game. I think it depends. I think the first goal is massive. Really is massive on Saturday. And we just got to knock the wind out of ourselves. Not give them an early goal. Early goal, the place is going to bounce them.
Yeah, definitely. And Michael, I mean, we've conceded 4 goals in the last 8 games. So we've had 4 clean sheets, conceded 4 goals.
Yep.
We're going for a ninth game unbeaten. Did you take anything from the conversation?
I just know it's going to be a difficult game. I didn't really take anything from that conversation itself in general. I know Patino's a good player. I'm worried about him. He always causes problems whenever we play them. And Jerry Yates as well, same with him. I just think that we need to pack out a midfield. I think personally, if there's any way that it's viable to do so, obviously, because we're so short on midfielders at the minute, pack out the midfield and put one up top, because I can see that being the only way that we're going to get the actual result we want out of the game. I think if we go with up top, I think we're going to leave gaps for them to actually get into and cause us problems. And I don't want that to happen again. I don't want it to be a reoccurrence of the last 2 games, which, there were hard games, as Glenn said, and they have been doing well, both teams, but really, both teams didn't really go for it against us. Like, they didn't... We looked the better team in both games, is what I'm trying to say, and we should have got 3 points from both of them games. So I don't know. It's going to be a difficult one either way.
Yeah, I think the midfield's key for us on Saturday. I agree. I think for me personally, I'd go one up top this weekend, and I just think Vic is just a different monster on his own. But I do believe we can win this on Saturday. So just a couple more things before we finish off this evening. There's a couple of pictures going round about, but Blackpool for the weekend. So if you've never been, this is the ground. So the away end entrance is on the right-hand side of the ground. So it's not on the new side of the ground, it's on the old side. So it's the opposite side to the sea. And there's two entrances. So you can go in, let me just move that banner so you can all see it. So you can go in away turnstiles 18 and 21 to the right-hand side of the ground. And then 22 to 25 is on the left-hand side of the ground. There's a couple of roads behind the ground. Now, two roads behind, we parked there last season and there was no parking restrictions. So if you get there early enough, you might get in.